Okay, we are live. I'm using my mic here off to the side. I hope it's, whoops, sorry about that. I got to crank the gain up there. Okay, I think that's okay. Um, I have kind of an indication down here in the bottom as far as microphone goes, but it looks like it's clipping. Okay, looks like it's clipping. Okay. And I am being sponsored tonight by ivideo.com.tw, where I am using, believe it or not, their pocket Wi-Fi box on my desktop computer. Now I'm using my my regular high definition Logitech camera, excuse me, and my Behringer USB interface. And the interesting thing is it seems to work fine. This is oh gosh, I need to shave. I can in high definition. I'm going to be careful there. I want to say hi to everybody, and it looks like we've got at least one viewer so far, and one thumbs up. Hey, I appreciate it. 2 viewers. Hey, thanks for joining, you guys. This is an easy way to go online. The cool part about it is, since I'm on a browser, hey, how's it going, Jaspy? How are you? Since I'm on a browser, did you just hear that notification, by the way? Did that go to the bus? I think it did. Whenever I get like a line notification, I think it goes to the bus. And so yeah. Jaspy says, I have internet. Fantastic. Yes, you did hear it. Okay, that's interesting. So everything that happens on the PC, you're going to hear. Now, I want you to tell me something if you can. Do you happen to have, hey, Rob, how you doing? All right. Does anybody happen to have their earbuds in? I'm listening with the earbuds because it's a little easier for me to hear. Anybody got their earbuds in? Because what I wanted to do was do a pan test to see if the audio is actually in stereo when it comes from my my interface box. Okay, so hang on. Let me do something here. Oh, I always got to do this. You know what? I should just get one of these lip balm companies to sponsor me. Okay, Rob, you've got your earbuds in. All right, let me do this. This is a pan pot test. I'm on the left side now. I guess, yeah, this is for me, but it's for you. It's the other side. Left side, left audio. Okay. And then now I'm on the right side. So YouTube doesn't like me sending too many messages. I do not have, it's a little loud. Okay. Well, that's fine. I can definitely turn it down. I can go like that. That's probably about 20% lower. Okay. So the question is, did you hear the audio go to one side? Same, both channels. Okay. And now it's going to the other side. Okay. Well, it's mono. So that's what I wanted to know. Okay. Well, it kind of figures. Usually you have to use the ingest server, and actually stream to the real-time messaging protocol server in order to get stereo. So that makes sense. It's okay. Same both channels. Thank you, Mr. Ebner. That let me know exactly what I wanted to know. One small disadvantage, although not really a disadvantage now that we have, their top chat capability in the app, but we don't have the Streamlabs, the chat going up the side here. We don't have that when I'm streaming from the computer. But I'll tell you what, when it's raining out, when there's stuff going on at the various places that I stream at, or there's something that I want to discuss where I might need to refer to the internet, it's a lot easier because since I'm in a browser, I can just go like this and I can look at something else. Of course, you guys see the exposure change. Jaspy has a lag. All right, why don't we do a lag test? It's a valid test here. Why don't we do a lag test? Just pick some letter or number, like a number 1 usually, put it in the input box and get ready to press enter. And I'll give you a 10-second count, and then we can just see how long it takes to process. Okay, so I'll give you five count. Four, three, two, one, go. And let's see what we got here. 5 seconds. Yep, 5 seconds for Rob. That's really good. I think Jaspy's on a slower connection and further away. Of course, there's internet far away and geographic far away, and sometimes people are far away on the internet just because it takes forever to route to them the way that the cables are laid. They could be geographically closer even. Okay, so far, yeah, that's 30 seconds, and then we haven't heard from Jasper. Maybe Jasper wasn't ready. So yeah, we've got a nominal lag of 5 seconds. Not bad. Okay, so one of the reasons that I wanted to ask about the stereo was because I want to know if I would be able to do any music stuff for you, and would it be in stereo? And the answer is no, therefore no. Because right now, for example, I'm completely on the left channel. And in my mixer, I hear it on the left channel, and it's only feeding the left bus as I can see on the output meters. But apparently it feeds both channels because it is not in stereo. And so, okay. And here's the other thing I want to know. There is a mic mute. So I want to mute, there's a mic mute button, and I want to see, it should mute this. Let's just see. I'll go ahead and tell you when I'm going to mute it. And if you'd be so kind as to tell me if it actually mutes. Okay, ready? I'm going to mute right now. And now we're unmuted. So that should have been nothing. You should have heard nothing in that muted. Excellent. Thank you. Well, it's good to know because, sometimes my wife comes up and yells at me. I want to be able to go quick scramble for the mute button. You know what I mean? And then we can play games like, what did I say? When I just go like, right. That'd be fine. Thanks, Rob. You're helping a great deal. Now, there's a lot been going on in the late night line group. For those of you who aren't regular viewers here of Late Night with MJ, this is a really informal thing that I do. It's kind of basically it's humorous in some respects. I used to have a national talk show in the United States on talk radio, and I have that kind of a background. I've always liked to interview people and talk with people and have discussions about things. Even if I don't agree with it, it doesn't matter. It's okay. And we just started doing a thing called Late Night with MJ Klein just because it was late night here. It wasn't late night anywhere else. It was late night here. And so basically, I like to take opinions, and I like to I like to do research and have discussions about things. So that's what we do here on this program. And I go to different places. Sometimes I go down to a place. Well, if you look in the late night YouTube playlist, you'll see a lot of past broadcasts where I've done on this front of this iconic window, and many people have come to visit me from around the world and have actually sat in front of that window. It's actually quite an honor to have all these people come from around the world just to come and sit in front of this window with me and have a live discussion with you guys. That's what we do here. So, welcome back, Jasper. Yeah, we did a latency test without you, and Rob was able to get me a message within 5 seconds. So if you want to do another one now that you're back, I would like to see what the latency is like. I have in my live stream settings on YouTube, I have low latency selected. So, but that's what we do here on Late Night, and occasionally I go around and do cultural broadcasts and so forth. This sounds much better now. You mean that you have come back? It made a difference that since you reconnected. Is that it? Okay. What I'd like for you to do is, I presume you're using a phone. Doesn't matter. Type a letter and put it in the chat box and get ready to press enter to send it. What I'll do, okay, good, is I'll give you a countdown, and then I'll say go, and then I want you to type enter, and then I'll tell you how many seconds elapse before I see it. Now, the cool thing is I'm not actually watching the YouTube playback. On the web interface for YouTube Live, on the web interface, there's a really nice chat box beside it's on the right hand side, and you can detach it too if you want to. If you want to, do some browsing or something in another app and keep the chat on top so you can see no matter what happens, you can do that too. So I'm not actually wasting bandwidth, by transmitting and then watching my own, recorded video or live streamed video come back. I just basically have a local output here. Okay, so needed to move my computer to my new house. Oh, I see. You say you need to move. Yeah, yes, you do. You need to move everything to your new house. Okay, so get ready. Type like a 1 or whatever it is, and put it in the text box, and get ready to press enter. And I'm going to give you a. Okay, I'm kind of in the middle here. What I'll do is I'll give you a countdown, and then I'll press and I'll say go. Ready? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. That's it. Okay. 5 seconds. 5 seconds. 5 seconds for Jaspy. Okay, so it's the same as Rob. I presume Rob didn't do it this time. That's okay. So we still got, in case somebody's still pending, we got 21, 25. Okay, anyway, that's all right because Rob is in central United States, and he had a 5 second stream delay, 5 second delay. Okay, I didn't think you did. That's okay, no problem, because you already did, and that's fine. I appreciate it. And you're probably more interested in watching Jaspy's reaction too. So that's really good. That's really good. Now, the reason that's so good is because the video has to get to you first, and then you have to react to it, and then it has to come back. So for 5 seconds, for all that to happen, I mean, that's too slow for a telephone call, but for video, that ain't bad. For me to ask an opinion, and get a text answer, that's quite good. All right, so how many folks we got with us? It says we got 3 here. Now, what I did was in Streamlabs, yes, it does. It means your internet is good. Yep, you got a good connection. Yep. I was wondering about that because I know you were telling me that Australia has some of the worst internet in the world, which is weird because everything else is high tech. There's a lot of great stuff in Australia. It's a modern, 21st century country. So what's going on with their internet? But I guess might be mostly the mobile side of things that's not so cool. But anyway, yeah. So we were talking about. Let me take a look at this. Say I can look at the line group and tell everybody that we're live. The only thing I can't get from this, let me see. I can pop out the chat. I can talk. I can toggle timestamps. Oh, timestamps is cool. And participants. Yep. Okay. I see. It says there's 3 because it's counting me. I like the timestamps on there too. Jaspy, I don't seem to have you listed as a moderator. How's that possible? Yeah. Okay. I'm going to have to fix that. I could fix that later. But I always thought that you were, in fact, a moderator. In fact, yeah, you were before. Yeah, I want you to be a moderator. Okay, let me do this. I can do this real simply by going to the drop. No, you don't drop off. That's not supposed to happen. Do the media. Yeah, I show myself here. That's actually quite a high quality picture. And what I'll do is I can go to top chat, looking at my at this, and oh, you know what? Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm not logged in as Taiwan Live. Haha. Okay, so I'm logged in as my other alter ego here, so I can't. But yeah, it looks nice. This is a good way to go. This is a good way to go live. Now we're talking today about Starbucks and the 2 guys, right? It's here. And, you know, the CEO is now calling for unconscious bias. You know, is like unconscious bias. That sounds like a term manufactured by the IRS. Voluntary compliance. That phrase doesn't exist because income taxes are supposed to be completely voluntary, but they try to make you think that it's a requirement. So they say voluntary compliance. And so, yeah, unconscious bias. Well, oh, okay. There shouldn't be any kind of bias, conscious or unconscious. A similar thing has happened to me. It's a huge, if you guys haven't read the story, there's a huge outrage, and it should be. Two men went into Starbucks, and they were arrested for trespassing. And yes, it is. It's a very bad word. And I won't tell you how long I've been in battles with them. So two men, basically the story is two men went into Starbucks, and they apparently were gentlemen, acting like gentlemen. And they sat down, and one of them wanted to use the restroom, but restrooms are only for patrons. They didn't buy anything. They sat down because they were waiting for their friend. And when they were asked, that's what they said. They're waiting for their friend. Now, apparently, on the Starbucks receipt, I read that there is a code because the bathroom has a door lock that you can enter with a code. And so the theory is if you are a customer, then you have a receipt. And if you have a receipt, then you've got the bathroom code, then you can use the bathroom. And so one of the guys wanted to use the bathroom, and they started questioning, well, what are you doing here? You know, you're not buying anything and stuff. And they called the cops. So what the cops do, did the cops go there and say, oh, what are you guys doing? We're waiting for our friend. Okay, well, there's nothing illegal with that, and left. No, they arrested them. And as they were taking them out the door, apparently the friend arrived and said, hey, what are you guys doing? You're taking what, I'm supposed to meet my friends here. And the deal is nobody apparently believed these two guys. And they made it all the way down to the police station before somebody at the police station apparently came to their senses and realized they haven't done anything, and they let them go. And so now the CEO of Starbucks wants to meet with them and all this stuff, and So anyway, here it is. It's this is from the New York Times, and here's the headline: Starbucks CEO apologizes after arrest of two black men. Okay, I forgot to mention they were black. It doesn't make any difference. It shouldn't make any difference who or what they were. It doesn't matter if they're from Mars. They're just sitting there doing nothing wrong. And maybe it was because they were black. I don't know. But wow, some of what happened next, I said, was recorded in the video that has been viewed more than 8 million times on Twitter and was described by the chief executive of Starbucks as very hard to watch. And apparently they have a link to the Twitter. And I can't show it to you, but maybe if I play it, you can hear the audio. Yeah, I bet if I play it, you can hear the audio. Where was that? It was in Philadelphia. Let me see. This lady says, Melissa DePino, she says, the police were called because these men hadn't ordered anything. They were waiting for a friend to show up who did, as they were taken out in handcuffs for doing nothing. All the other white people are wondering why it's never happened to us when we do the same thing. That's very good. Okay, Jasper, very good. Yeah, that's a okay, that's a good point. So watching my broadcast on a 70-inch TV. Maybe I should put a bag over my head. I should be the unknown commentator. Now let me see if you can hear this. All right, I'm gonna take this to the back now. I can't show you the video with this setup, but you can hear the audio. So let's see what happens. Don't get no fight with them. Don't get no fight. Sorry. Every time I change windows, it goes off. It's in vertical mode. Friends, when you record something for the cops, turn your phone to the side, will you? It's an HD world. This is a white guy asking the cops what they did. Oh, it shows a guy going out in handcuffs. He's like very calm, gentlemanly looking. I mean, in his mannerisms. I mean, his attitude and everything. He's not causing trouble. I'd be really upset. I'll tell you my story in a minute. Anyway, that's like you heard a little bit about that. You heard a little bit of it. So I mean, come on. This is the 21st century, people. So about 2 years ago, I was over near the McKay Hospital in downtown Hsinchu, and in that area, and I don't remember what I was doing there. The only thing I remember is this. My wife said, "You want to eat a Moss Burger?" I said, "Yeah." Moss Burger is a Japanese hamburger chain that we have here in Taiwan. And I said, "Yeah, all right, I'll go in." And she had to do something. So I said, "All right, I'm gonna go wait for you." And I sat down and I'm looking at my phone like everybody else. I'm looking to my left, and there's, every table has one person at it, and they're all looking at their phones. And I was just, reading the mail, whatever. And then I noticed that the boss had come out from behind the counter, and he's walking around to different people. And I kind of catch a little bit of, I hear a little bit of what he's saying, and he's asking people, do they speak English? And finally he found this girl, and she gets up, she comes over, and she says, "The boss wants to know what you're doing here." And I said, "Well, who are you?" And, she wouldn't tell me her name, obviously, which I didn't want, and I said, "Well, you're just a customer. I don't want to talk to you. If the boss wants to talk to me, tell him to come over here." And she said, "But the boss doesn't speak English." And I said, "I didn't ask you if the boss can speak English. I told you tell the boss to talk to me." And the boss came over, and I was ripping mad. "What are you doing here?" "I want to eat. I'm waiting for my wife. Is that okay?" Oh, how, 可以. Yeah. I don't know. That kind of stuff just frosts my buns. Something my dad used to say. Anyway, are we still on? Is this thing still on? We still here? I don't know. It seems like almost every day something reminds me, besides the fact this is Satan's world, it is okay. Something always reminds me, that I'm different. Washing my hands outside the restroom at the Starbucks, a woman comes up with a little kid, and she makes a comment about the foreigner standing next to her. And I looked at her, and I said in Chinese, "Foreigner, huh?" And then she said, "Oh, ni hao, ni hao," trying to, be all cute and stuff and say hello. And then I said, again, "Foreigner." I said, "Are you sure?" "Why go to Han? You trade in ma?" And, anyway, so it's just, I used to hate it when people, and I don't mean used to, I hate it when people make unnecessary references to a person's ethnicity or their origin or something. You know what I mean? Like, I'll give you an example. Like, I don't know. Like, I'll be in a store, and some guy, usually it's an older guy, because older guys, think they can relate to me better. And I'll say, "Yeah, I had a customer come in today, and he was doing this. It was a black guy, and whoa, excuse me. He was what? He was a black guy. Okay. Is that relevant to the story?" So anyway. Rob says, reading that there were two separate Starbucks events, one in Philadelphia and one in Los Angeles. I did not hear about the Los Angeles ones. I'm going to look that up. Oh boy, oh boy. And Jassy says, she replies in the most Aussie English accent. You should reply in an American accent and just say, yes, I am a foreigner. I have a green card. Because people hate that. It's an inside joke. Hi, Betty. How are you? Nice to have you with us. Betty, I don't know anything about you, but it's always a pleasure to see you. First time I saw you was when I was in Florida with Steven in his car, and we had a group in the back, and we were singing karaoke. But do you guys feel the same way I do about the unnecessary references? You know, it shows that people notice. And I'm going to tell you, these are the same people that profess to be colorblind. And I say, well, you know, if you're colorblind, then you don't notice. You get it? I had a guy ask me one time about somebody at work. Is he a black guy? And I had to think because I didn't remember. Pumpkin, I'm on the air. You want to come here? Hey, somebody wants to say hi. Look at this. Come on up here. Come on, sit right up here. This is Phoenix. He wants to say hi. Yeah. Pumpkin, can I ask you some questions on the air? This is about what I teach my daughter. What matters most, a person's insides or outsides?
Inside.
And why does the inside matter most than the outside? Does the outside matter?
No.
So we don't care what people look like, right?
Yeah.
We don't care what their color is or anything like that, right?
Yeah.
Or where they're from or what language they speak, right? It only matters if they're a good person or a bad person, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, this is what I do. I practice what I preach, and this is what I'm teaching my kids. So, okay. Betty says, hello, sweetheart. Jaspy says, hi, Phoenix. And Uncle Rob says, hi, Phoenix. Now, you remember Uncle Rob because he sent you a postcard. And the postcard shows Grandview Drive, and he said it was his favorite view in Peoria, and it would be nice if our family could join someday, right? Yeah. Phoenix is 5.5 now. That's the camera up there, by the way. So if you want to say hi to people, you look at the camera up there, see? There you go. You look good. Look good. She is getting big. She stands so tall. She stands 120 centimeters now. And when I look at her in the bed, that's crazy. Now she's outgrown her clothes. Excuse me. I'm sorry, I'm burping, drinking here. We're going into a season change, right? We're coming into spring, so my wife's getting her some new clothes. And okay, hang on a second. She's 5.5, and we went to my wife went to the store and bought her some clothes, and she's buying 7 and 8-year-olds clothes because she's so tall. Do you want to say something to me in private? Should I turn the microphone off for a second, or do you want to say something out loud to everybody?
I don't know.
Do you want to say something to everybody or just to me?
Everybody.
Okay, go ahead. You can look at the camera and say hi to everybody. You want to say, what do you want to say?
No. I want to say the flower stuff.
Oh, we have been planting. We planted some flowers the other day. We have 2, flower pots, and we planted the seeds. And so, thank you.
There was one pot that has a lot of plants. And
how many plants in that? How many plants in the big one?
I forgot.
I think it's 5 now. I think there's 5 little shoots that have come up.
It's small like this, but the other 2 kinds were just long like this.
Oh yeah, because we had 2 that came out before the other ones. Oh, excuse me. And now they're long now, and long now means they're 4 to 5 centimeters. So yeah.
So the small pot just have like 2 or that kind of just a little bit, like 1 or 2 or 3.
You make a good co-host. So it is, isn't it? Her English is cute. Yeah. She should be my co-host all the time. What do you think? I should have. Hang on a second. Wait a second. Hold on. I got to mute the mic for a second. Okay. Okay, so all right. I didn't know what she was saying. And you parents out there, the kids, sometimes say stuff that's like, whoa. So I might have to delete this broadcast, but here you go. All right. So what we're going to do is Phoenix, actually, I have been grooming her to be a sideman. I've been grooming Phoenix to be a sideman. So here we go. Are you ready? Why can't you give Elsa a balloon?
Because you will let it go.
Very good. That's why you can't give Elsa a balloon. Why is a chef so mean?
Because he beat the eggs.
Because he beats the eggs. What did the zero say to the 8?
Nice spelled.
Here's one of my favorites. What do you call an alligator wearing a vest?
Investigator.
There you go. So I'm grouping her to be a sideman. Are there any more? What are the other ones? I forget. Oh, that's right. That's right. What did the cow say to the horse?
Why the long face?
You're so right. You're so right about that. Oh, don't be on that. You're so right. So thank you. See, everybody's giving us hand claps. They like that. So yeah, Phoenix can be my she can be my my sidekick here. She can be my co-host. Now I'm actually going to start training her in singing because I discovered that she has my hearing for music. Her rhythm is really good. She can clap or tap her foot and to the beat, and she can match pitches with her voice. So she's almost old enough for me to start training to sing. What do you think? And she told me today she wants to learn piano. What do you think? You want to learn piano?
Mm-hmm.
And you want me to teach you guitar too, right?
No
guitar. You want me to teach you to sing, right? Want me to teach you to sing?
Really.
Not really, yeah. But you know what's going to happen? See, when I was young, I didn't appreciate singing either because my mommy was a singer and she used to sing at the club. And every weekend I have to go watch her. I just got so boring. But now, I wish I could see her again. So anyway, that's what we're going to do. So any other jokes you want to tell? Any other jokes? Okay, because now all you're doing is you're staring at yourself in the camera and you're hamming it up. So are you going to go back downstairs or are you going to stay here?
Well, Mommy calls me.
Gonna go back downstairs when Mommy calls you?
Yeah.
What? Don't stick your tongue out. Come on. This is international television. Yeah, she is only 5, so. All right, so she's actually 5.5, and she's in kindergarten, and she's in second year, Cornell kindergarten. In Taiwan, they have 3.
Mommy, call me.
Oh, Mommy's calling. Okay, she got to go. Say bye. Say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Will we be there all week? Yeah, that's like we're doing something in Vegas, right? Bye, pumpkin. Thank you for coming up here so much. Thanks for the jokes. Yeah, she does have a cute giggle, huh? She does have a cute giggle. Hang on a second. Hold. Okay, bye. Mommy came in just for a second. So we'll be there all week. Yes, and we've got a $10 cover, 2 drink minimum. Anyway, and this is my drink for tonight. I'm almost done. I did not bring the bottle up. All right. Well, thank you. Yes. And you guys have been with me a long time, several years. You've actually seen her grow up quite a bit. I mean, I wasn't doing live streaming on mobile phone live streaming and things when she was born 5 years ago, but I was doing it when she was about 3. And so, yeah, don't forget to tip your waitresses. Yes, definitely. As used to say on the road, Tiping is not a city in China. So, and now that's even more relevant for me these days. But no, this is not a bad way to stream. I just can't like insert slides and so forth. So, join her. She's about 4. Yeah, okay. Jaspy, I want to talk about you just for a second. I was um, some time ago, and don't worry, I'm not going to reveal any secrets. Some time ago, I'm not the kind of person that is, I don't do what I do for awards. I don't do what I do, for follows. I do what I do because I want to do it, and I try to, do good content, right? Again, yeah. And so I try to do, good content, but every once in a while I take a look at who's following me, and I found this young lady named Jaspy. And the interesting thing is about Jaspy is when I found Jaspy, I was the only person that she was following. And I knew nothing about her. She never said anything, never contacted me, never, so much as made a peep. And then I found her on Periscope and she was following 2 people, my personal channel and Taiwan Live. And for the longest time, she was only following me. And I was like, what in the heck is going on? Why is some young, attractive Asian girl following some guy like me? And, anyway, so it's funny. And so the great part about it is now we've made contact and, now we're good friends and we're all in the late night group family. I had mentioned earlier today in the broadcast about late night that we have a late night group online. Okay, thanks, Rob. Online, LINE, all capital letters, the Japanese mobile phone app. And we also have a late night group on Twitter, although that is dying down because most of the friends have moved from Twitter over into the Line group. And it's for a couple of reasons. We're concerned about the privacy on Twitter, because the Line group is encrypted end to end. And it's just the capabilities in the Line group are, I think they far outweigh any disadvantages maybe of moving to a mobile phone based system. You can access it by a Windows app on your computer, which is cool. And so, like I have it running in the background right now on this machine. I have a 27-inch touchscreen AIO, and the only thing I think that you lose that I can figure out with Twitter, there may be some more things, but the only thing that you lose is the vast majority, or the vast, group of animated GIFs. That's it that you have. So here's what Jaspy says, and I'm gonna read this. Although now we have it on chat, I do like to read this. The story started as, all I remember was I downloaded Periscope to watch a video from my phone company. Then I remember browsing on Periscope, and you happened to be live streaming. Look at that! I clicked it because you had Taiwan and food in the title. That's true. I did do a lot of food, and of course, Taiwan would be in the title. I used to do a lot of food scopes. And when I did even, the personal channel, when I did Taiwan Live, I did a lot of other, points of interest. And I still think, and I think Rob will probably agree, I still think that the best add moderator. Oh, I did it. Jaspy Faye is now is a moderator for your channel. Sorry, I keep multitasking. And so Jaspy says, followed ever since. After that, thank you. I think the best broadcast I ever did was at the Buddhist monastery in South Taiwan, in northern Kaohsiung, where they had the huge Buddha. And I got to tell you, I've had mixed feelings about this. There are certain periscopers that I really respect. David Osaka, of course, Jevons, John Sabot, others. who has stuck with Periscope through thick and through thin. But it seems to me that the numbers are dropping. Like Rebecca in Hawaii. I mean, what a sweet person and a nice presenter, and everything is in impeccable taste, and the content is fantastic. And she went from 2,000 views to 200 views. There's something going on. I don't know what it is. Now, Dave in Osaka can still command the multi-thousand, viewer scopes, and rightfully so. He's deserved it. He put his dues in, and he's reaping what he sowed all the time. It's just that what I feel bad about, I feel, and maybe I'm wrong about this, but yes, I agree. But I don't think she's getting the viewership that she deserves. And even with her Hawaiian language classes that she does a lot of times in the car on the way to work, I think they're underviewed. I think the overwhelming majority of the male population looking at Periscope is looking for porn, or they're looking for titillation, if you will, I guess is a word, the proper word for that. I wouldn't mind doing some more high quality Periscopes. Obviously, you guys know I'm capable of going out and doing the research and finding a place and presenting it well, because I've done it before. It's not the issue. The issue is what happens to it later. I just feel that Periscope goes down a black hole. It's like after 24 hours, it goes off your list, and it's hard to find. And their web interface is absolutely atrocious. Yeah, I can understand that. The web interface is atrocious. And another thing, I mean, they have stopped communicating with me. The last several emails that I wrote to them about things, they weren't even complaints or basically questions. They just ignored me. I noticed one day, because back when I started Taiwan Live TV, I was using Catch. Remember that? What a great service that was that Periscope killed. And I was using that to embed replays on my website, and then we weren't allowed to do that anymore. So I just used an iframe, HTML code, and embedded the broadcast itself, which later became illegal on September the 30th of 2016. And since then, I haven't done any broadcasts on Taiwan Live TV. Good. Now, the thing is the web display suffered a serious downgrade in quality, where everybody else in the world is increasing and going to HD and above and UHD. Periscope's web interface of their broadcasts went in the crapper, and it got to the point where they did something where they just they weren't allowing anybody to embed. So my broadcast just stopped working. So I realized that there was nothing I could do. Excuse me, it's live TV. I realized there was nothing I could do. I couldn't use any of those scopes that I did for anything. And I did Taiwan Live TV because, well, let me ask you a question. How many of you people have had, hey, Mark, how you doing? Nice to have you with us. And give us a medical update, please, would you? How many of you folks that are watching right now have a completely different opinion of Taiwan now than you did, say, 4 or 5 years ago, simply because of live streamers like Jevons, myself, John Sabot, anybody else that you've seen from Taiwan? And is Taiwan anything like you thought it was, in your mind? Like, probably 5 years ago, somebody asked you about Taiwan, you wouldn't have any idea. The point I'm trying to make is that we have been trying to let people know just how cool Taiwan is and what a great place it is. And it is. It's a fantastic place. Worlds of difference, Rob says. Exactly. And you realize now it's the kind of place that you want to visit. And you never would have known that 5 years ago. And that was my whole idea behind Taiwan Live. So, Yeah, see, Jaspy's been there though. Jaspy says she's always loved Taiwan, been there many times, and by myself too. Yeah, you can go. As a single woman, you can go here. It's completely free. But you also speak Chinese. For the Western, hemisphere, that and for those who don't speak Chinese, I'm willing to say, Rob, you probably never in a million years would have thought about booking a trip to Taiwan with your wife. It just wouldn't have crossed your mind. So. Really, your Mandarin's very Taiwan accent too. Yeah, I want to talk to you on the phone sometime. I'll give you a line call and we'll talk about that. That'll be funny. Because I prefer the Taiwan accent. When I went to Beijing, they were going shh 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 shh. And I was like, oh my goodness, what are they saying? Oh. Anyway, that's another broadcast. So yeah, Rob says true. Yeah, he never would have. But now you might consider it. There are things that you've seen. Oh, I see. Good. There are things that you've seen, Rob, in these different broadcasts, and you realize that Taiwan has a lot to offer for a tourist, an interesting, and even more important than that, safe experience with a really interesting culture. And now you've got friends here that you can meet that can help you, and we can take you around and we can interpret for you and we can show you stuff. So that was the whole point behind what I did with Taiwan Live, and Periscope just went like this and pulled the rug out. And that was the end of that. So I'm trying to use YouTube because I think even though there are, 100, bazillion videos on YouTube, it is at least designed to be a web interface for viewing videos, which Periscope is not. And the funny thing is, right, is when I got my ivideo.com.tw sponsorship, they asked me, do you have a Periscope channel? I sat down on the email and I wrote and I wrote and I wrote and I told them the Periscope story about how Periscope does this and they did that and they pulled the rug out from underneath me. Just basically what I said to you guys in a more concise version of it. And you know what they said? One sentence. Okay, let's work with YouTube then. They get it. I think they understand that 24 hours later, when it's off the app and the phone, it's off the radar, nobody's going to go looking for your broadcast on the web. And even if they use that archaic search button, they're never going to find it because tags don't work. You put a hashtag in your Periscope title and it gets copied to Twitter, that's where it works. It doesn't work in Periscope. You can't search on a hashtag in Periscope. So it works in tags work in YouTube. So I think they realize that if I tag every video that I do where I'm using their service, that a lot more people are going to see it, even though I have a relatively smaller viewer base. Does this make sense? I mean, it just seems to me. So now I'm not entirely, off of Periscope. It's just that Periscope doesn't meet my needs. It's changed. It's evolved in a direction that I don't want to go. Now, in the old days, before it had, full Twitter integration, and before everybody in the Middle East found out you could entice women to take their clothes off, I think, it was a pretty nice place to be. But unfortunately, there's a massive pedophile issue on Periscope. But let's talk about that just for a second. I know this is a topic that makes me want to go get my Bali knife and cut somebody up. But I know there's a pedophile issue on YouTube. But I will tell you, yes, I agree. I will tell you that I have never seen it. I've been on YouTube since the very beginning. I was looking for some place to host my videos so I can embed them on my blog back in 2005. And finally, YouTube came out, was available. I have never seen a pedophile issue personally on YouTube. That doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It just means that I haven't run across it. But I run across it every day in Periscope if I want to. If I look in the live broadcast lists, I just think proportion per platform, I think it's higher. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like it's higher. I feel that it's more visible in Periscope than it is in YouTube. But it's like YouTube, I mean, cannot not have this problem because like I said, there's how many bazillion videos are there? There's numbers out there. I saw the numbers of video hours and the number of different individual videos on YouTube. It's staggering. It's astronomical. You can't fathom the number. It's too big. You can't even imagine how much it is. And so, you look at the number and my eyes glazed over. I was like, holy cow. And I've never seen pedophilia there, but I see it all the time in Periscope. And that does bother me about it. I kind of agree with Jeff G sometimes, where I think they're going to kill the app because there's no reason to have the app anymore. See, there's a lot of overhead by people using it who don't get involved with Twitter. See, the whole idea was for Twitter to integrate Periscope so that Twitter could gain live streaming on their platform. And any live streaming that occurs outside of the platform that they're paying for is overhead. Yes, it is. It's annoying and very worrying. Yes. And I don't think there's anything you can do with it. So, yeah. Yeah, me too, Betty. I check Periscope about once every 2 weeks to see what's up. And I'm going to be honest with you. The only reason there's one reason and only one reason, because I have deleted Periscope, I don't know, a dozen times off my phone. The only reason I keep Periscope on my phone is for Dave and Osaka. That's the only reason, because it's the best way to see the scopes the way that, that he presented them on Periscope. And I got to tell you, every week there's a new follower. And I go, why did I get a new follower? I haven't done a stream in months, and it's a sex bot. So yeah, I don't know what they can do about that. Maybe they can fix it, and maybe they can't. That's a controversy, and some people claim that they can, but they don't because it makes their numbers look better. I don't know, but put it this way: nothing surprises me, and quite frankly, I don't care. But the reason that I use YouTube is because I can embed it in my own website if I want to. I can make a story about what happened. And I can use the video in the story. I can use it to promote Taiwan so you guys know a little bit more about this unbelievable place that I happen to live in, that I'm lucky enough that they let me stay here. That's how I feel. And the other thing is that people can find it. It does notifications like Periscope, but when you're using Periscope and you go, hey, I remember so and so did that broadcast. It was really cool. I want to see that again. It is a pain in the neck to watch. You got to watch it on your phone. It's a pain in the neck to do the hold and scroll, as opposed to doing it on, on YouTube, where you've got the timeline bar on the bottom that you can click on, and you can't really watch it. I'm talking about in high quality. You can't really get a good user experience on the web. Oh, I see. I didn't notice. You know something, Betty? I didn't look at where they're coming from. All from the same site? Yep. Every day she deletes, so I believe it. I believe it. But you guys know what I'm talking about. Jaspy just said that she's watching this broadcast on a 70-inch TV. Too bad for you. My face is 2 feet wide right now. But the point I'm trying to make is you can't do that on YouTube if you wanted to. Somebody does an epic broadcast. It's in so-so resolution. And the stupid thing is, I use my phone. I use my mobile phone on YouTube to broadcast, and it's in stereo. You know that broadcast that we did when Caspar and JL and Yuka and Jevons were here. Remember back in December, and we went upstairs at Winwin's place and we sang in karaoke. I listened to that broadcast on YouTube. Oh, excuse me, in headphones, and it sounds pretty good. I was surprised. Yeah, Betty says it's awesome to watch on a 48-inch TV. Marquee screencast too. See, you can't really do that with Periscope. I guess you can Chromecast. I guess if you look at the broadcast on Chrome, you can Chromecast. But I'm telling you right now, even if you could get Periscope on a 70-inch TV, you would want to stand back a half a mile because the resolution is terrible. It is so pixelated and ridiculous that, well, I don't know. Anyway. So there are other live streaming options that we're investigating. And believe me, there's a lot of us behind the scenes talk going on about some stuff that I'm not going to tell you about until it happens. But pretty soon, we're going to have a home that we can call home. But in the meantime, YouTube is not bad. And you can easily share it, which you can do with Periscope, but you can easily embed it, which you can't because Periscope requires you to embed the tweet. And the tweet is 600 pixels wide and it looks like 2006 on your website. It's ridiculous. It's in HD if you want it. And there are also options that you can do like Streamlabs where you can burn the comments on the screen, which is really nice because there are some apps that allow you to download the YouTube video or the video itself, the actual file. And unless I'm mistaken, if you use Creator Studio, you can download your YouTube video yourself if you want to. If you wanted to, like burn a DVD or something to give to your friends. So yeah, so there you go. That's why I really, really want to use YouTube. And I'm not doing this for the numbers. And I realize that, probably the most people I've ever had live viewing on YouTube has been about 20, whereas on Periscope, I've had like 400 at a time. And, the problem is those numbers sometimes are a little intoxicating. I had someone that we all know and love and mentioned earlier said that the broadcasters go where the audience is. And I said, no, they don't. The audience goes where the broadcaster goes. Are you trying to tell me that if your favorite rock band went to this arena, you wouldn't go see them because you want them to come to this arena and you're going to sit and wait for them to come to that arena? Is that what happens? No. And the proof here is with my followers. I made it very clear why I wanted to move to YouTube. And the vast majority of my followers, I'm going to say 100% of my core followers are now watching me on YouTube. And we haven't suffered anything by not being on Periscope. And in fact, in some respects, I think we have an advantage by being on YouTube. For the other things that I mentioned already, I'm not going to beat them to death. So anyway, excuse me. This mic picks up everything. That's good though. So the volume is okay. I just want to make a mental note of where we are here on the VU meter. We're actually at +8. Okay, so +8 is good. Excellent, and it gives me a lot of headroom here. Yes, see, Betty says this. I follow the broadcaster. Exactly, and it's a broadcaster's duty to communicate with the followers and let the followers know what the broadcaster is doing. Yeah, see, Mark says this. Now, okay, I really, really appreciate this, Mark. He says, we followed you to YouTube. to line just shows how well received and appreciated you are. Yes. And let me tell you something. I appreciate that more than anybody. Thank you very much. And all I'm saying is if followers really like a broadcaster, they will go where the broadcaster is, because there are some people that just don't use YouTube that much. Like, you guys still watch Dave? Where Dave is at. Dave uses YouTube once in a while. He'll do a geisha spotter, down in Guyana, which is really cool in HD. But 90% of the time he's on Periscope, and that's where we watch him. And that's what happens. And that's where you go. And I support Dave's decision to continue to support Periscope, because there's nothing wrong with it, and it works for him, and that's what he wants to do. And he's got a lot of followers too. So yeah, it's a cyber family. There you go. Jaspy says, I don't feel like you're just a broadcaster anymore. Thank you. Cyber family. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. And that's how I feel about you guys too, when I refer to you as friends and not just, followers and so forth. Yeah. I use, the generic term followers, but when we're talking in the line group, it's always friends, and that's just how it is. I just wish, gosh, we got to petition YouTube. I just wish that this interface was stereo, because then I could do some music stuff just using the webcam and the audio interface here, and not have to use OBS without it getting too complex. Now, let me tell you, I am getting close to doing my supplements broadcast. Now, just looking at this webcam here, I'm thinking if I just have my supplement, let's just say my Nissan GTR mouse is a supplement. If I have a supplement and I hold it up this close to the camera, I don't think it's going to focus that good. So, okay, take care, Jaspy. I know you're 2 hours ahead of us, so it's it's after midnight there. Thank you. Give you a fist bump. Take care. Have a good night. I'm thinking what I probably should do is use OBS and go leach proper photographs of the bottle, of the container, the label of all the supplements that I take, so I can show them to you on OBS. So I need some time to gather those things. I just don't think that this, if I talk to you about the name of a supplement and I hold it up, I don't think you can read, like, you can't even read anything on this, right? Yeah, see, it's just not. The only way I could do that is if I clipped on my macro lens. I'm going to do some experiments and see what I can come up with. And I'll just, do whatever works the best. But I want to talk about the supplements that I take and why I take them. Now, Betty may not know, but when Betty joined me in the broadcast from Florida, I was in Florida to visit the Sears Institute for Anti-Aging, where I took a battery of medical tests, and I got the medical test results back. And I'm very pleased to say that there are only 2 minor issues, and the minor issues have been dealt with, and I'm in good shape for 62, really good shape. And so I wanted to talk about the supplements that I take, because one of the reasons that I am in the condition that I'm in is because I've been a heavy supplementer for many years. I've been taking colloidal minerals for over 30 years, when people thought Joel Wallach was a quack and so forth. So, yeah. My father died from diabetes at 88. He had dementia from diabetes. Everybody thought in the nursing home that he had Alzheimer's. No, it was diabetes-induced dementia. The last 8 years of his life, he could barely communicate. The last 5 years, he couldn't communicate at all. And I'm 62, and I do not have blood glucose issues, because I watch my diet, I exercise, and I take supplements, and I'm very careful, and I've done empirical testing with a glucose meter, and I know what I can tolerate. That's what it takes to reverse and keep diabetes type 2 reversed. And I want to talk about that. I want to talk about what I've taken for supplements. And, it's not a secret, and I'll get into it later. But if you suffer from diabetes or you suffer from metabolic syndrome, which some physicians say may be the same thing with a slightly different definition, you should be investigating omega 7. Now, everybody knows about omega 3. And then after that, we found out about 6 and 9. Very few people really understand what omega 7 is. Omega 7 is a gift from our Creator. That's how I view it. Omega 7 will push down high blood glucose levels between 10 and 20 points. But if you already have normal blood sugar levels, it won't push them down. It leaves them alone if they're normal. And it just helps your skin, your hair, your nails, eyesight, cardiovascular health. Omega 7 is something that everyone should be taking. And your host here takes 1,000 milligrams of sea buckthorn oil every day. It is a tremendous source of omega 7, and the well-being and extra boost to your health that you get is phenomenal. So if you've got any tendencies towards diabetes, I recommend that. I'll give you 4 quick recommendations if you've got any tendency towards diabetes: omega 7, chromium picolinate, cinnamon, and coconut oil. Those 4 things. The brand almost doesn't matter, but when I do my supplements, show, I'm going to show you the brand that I use. But if you look at iHerb, just how it's spelled, iherb.com, they have a fantastic app for Android. I don't know about iOS, but the Android app is absolutely fantastic. And you look for sea buckthorn oil, you will find a jar of it that has 500 milligram capsules or little capsules, and that's what I take. So, yes, Mark, you really should. Omega 7. Dr. Sears put me onto this years ago with a newsletter that he puts out, and I subscribe to it, and I get it every week. And I went to my Chinese doctor with the name of the substance called berberine. It's the generic or the name of the substance is berberine. And berberine is a derivative of the sea buckthorn, which is used in Chinese medicine. Now, let me stop there. I want to tell you something that I found out. The Wikipedia page for berberine has been edited. The reason that it has been edited, it's been edited to purposely mislead people to think that it does not work. But studies show that berberine works as well as metformin, the leading diabetic medicine for reducing blood sugar, with zero side effects, zero dangerous side effects. You might break wind a little more. I went to my Chinese doctor with the Chinese word for berberine, and he said, "Yeah, this is good for diabetes." And he prescribed it to me, gave me 3 bottles of it. It tastes terrible. It tastes like dirt with acid. It's horrible. These are notifications coming in, and it's coming from the PC. It's going to the bus. So sorry about that. I can't do anything about that, or maybe I can. Whatever. I don't want to affect my audio going into the computer. And so I took berberine for 2 years. It tastes terrible. It tastes like dirt. But I, just closed my mouth, took it, and it solved my blood sugar issues and helped me to lose weight. And then I started to explore other options. And there's actually a bottle of liquid sea buckthorn oil, and it is really sour. Now, I like sour stuff, so I didn't mind. It was really super, super sour. One of those things that you're taking, you're like, somebody asked me, how sour is it? I said, well, I use lemon juice as a chaser. Okay. And, but then I found the same thing, the sea buckthorn oil in a capsule, a 500 milligram capsule, and I take two. So omega-7, omega-7 and chromium picolinate, and then cinnamon, and then coconut oil. Yeah, metformin has lots of side effects, and yeah, I have type 2. I don't have type 2. Everybody has type 2. My brother just called me the other day, and he's in full-blown diabetes, and because he's eating carbohydrates and he's not taking care of himself. So I'll tell you about that. But I have a plan to reverse my brother's diabetes. Now, if you don't believe that diabetes can be reversed, I want you to go to reversediabetes.com. reversediabetes.com. And one of the things that you can do immediately to reverse diabetes is, first of all, if you have diabetes, it scares the crap out of you. You test the blood sugar and say, oh my God, it's 170, it's 180. You're in full-blown diabetes mode. You're scared you'll do anything. Fast. Go on a fast. Do not eat any food for 4 to 5 days. Your blood sugar will dive. It will normalize. Seriously. And once you get your blood sugar below 100 when you're fasting, my blood sugar level when I fast, if I fast for 3 days and I take my blood sugar level, it is between 80 and 90. It never goes higher than 90. It never goes, actually, it's never gone lower than 82. It's right in the middle. That's really good. Once you get your blood sugar level down to 100 when you've been fasting for 8 hours or more, then you slowly introduce food back into the diet. Non-glycemic foods. If you don't know what glycemic foods are, there are a number of apps on the internet that can help you with that. Hang on. I have to go, folks. Very important. It is read time for Phoenix. Phoenix has had her shower for the night. She's got her pajamas on. She's going to bed. I got to read to her, and that is my duty. It's been a pleasure to talk to you, and thanks so much for joining. And I will put together my supplements show, and I will go into more detail. Now, I'm not a doctor, which is why I go to doctors to find this out, which is why I've been following Dr. Sears, which is why I went to the Sears Institute for Anti-Aging. So, no, thank you very much. Thanks for joining. And it was a pleasure bringing Phoenix to you guys tonight. She's grown up a little bit, so it's been nice. So, but yes, Betty, we can talk about that. And feel free to contact me on Twitter. Feel free to contact me online also. And if you want to join the late night group, I'll be happy to add you. Thank you so much for joining. You guys take care. Have a good evening or afternoon or day wherever you are. Bye-bye.